Mo, it's the month of Ramadan, bro. Finish your chances, bro.
I was more annoyed with the second goal than I was with Jarell Quansah's mistake. The lack of pressure that Kobe Manu was put under is criminal.
Harry Kane is cursed, apparently.
If you are 16 points adrift, but you have scored 32 goals in a season, that should be good enough form to be in a title race.
Yeah.
Harry Kane has done his job.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Football Trending, the football show from Joe. Today, I'm back in the studio. I've been away. I've been in America, sort of seeing how they do soccer over there.
Soccer.
They've not nailed it. I'm joined by Ibby.
Morning.
I'm joined by Joel.
Morning, boys. You all right?
And Ben, unfortunately, who would usually be sitting here, he's ill. Has been for a week.
Cry.
Bless
Cry.
him.
Pour some out
Quite
for Ben.
a lot of man flu going around at the moment, though, isn't there? I mean, Joel sounded a bit weird this morning.
Apparently, I have a really husky voice today. So you're welcome.
We'll get you to do some like book reads after. Welcome to
ASMR Football Trending channel coming soon.
Joel's Football Corner.
It's just me.
Anyway, so look, first big talking point of today was the game from yesterday, a game that you two would have watched.
Yeah.
In frustration.
In frustration is probably fair. It was
Yeah.
Manchester United versus Liverpool. It was the third time these teams have met this season, and it was the third time that Liverpool have failed to beat Manchester United.
Yeah, it's criminal.
Up until half time, it was kind of job well done, 1-0, and very comfortable.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Very comfortable.
Yeah.
Not 3-4 goals in front.
Yeah.
And the fact that we let them back into a game with a mistake, it's hard to blame the centre back when he's done so well. He's so young. But fuck me, finish your chances.
Yeah.
Where's my camera? Where's my camera? Mo,
Where's my camera?
Please. It's the month of Ramadan, bro. Finish your chances, bro. Like, I love you, but that's my biggest issue with Mo.
Yeah.
It takes so many times, so many chances.
He creates so much, but then he misses so much as well.
Yeah.
I think that the frustrating thing is, yet again, not winning that game felt very, very predictable.
Yeah.
Even in the first half when we were absolutely dominating. 3 weeks ago, we went to Old Trafford and did exactly the same thing.
Yeah,
exactly the same
unfortunately,
thing.
Carbon copy.
yeah, it's been a story for, a good half of the season for Liverpool this time round, that actually we just cannot kill games off. We've missed Jota. He's the only player in that front line that I would trust time and time again, that if that ball falls to him with 10 minutes to go, he can see it off. But it's getting very frustrating before every single game.
Yeah.
Kind of sitting on Twitter and seeing people be like, I wonder if we'll kill the game off today. I wonder if we'll dominate and whether we'll actually take the points. And unfortunately, it was just the same thing we've seen 15, 20 times this season.
Ibby seems to be blaming Mo Salah here, but I wanted to ask, if there's one person you can blame for not being 3 or 4 or 5 goals up at half time, who do you lay the blame at?
For me, it'll be Nunes. Salah's like an easy out because how good he is and what we expect from him. But Nunes, oh my God. Rash is an understatement. The guy makes everything look so hard. The easiest things look so hard. Like, there was one in the first half, should have buried.
Yeah.
The one where
Diaz cuts it to the back.
Diaz
post.
cuts it back and he was just caught in two
That
minds.
was probably your best move of the game as well.
Well, I think Nunes is a funny one to blame though as well, because I actually, obviously, he's a centre forward. We need him to score goals, particularly in those games and with those chances. But his actual overall game yesterday, I thought was a lot better. The work that he did for the assist for Diaz's goal is absolutely unbelievable. Brilliant centre forward play from corner. I think in those games, you're wanting your big experienced players to do the job. I really feel for Jarell Quansah because he has been unbelievable for us this season. Yeah. And look, it's a howler, it's a shocker, but you do see them, and the guy is literally a child, and he's done so well for us up until yesterday. So I'm reluctant to put it on that. To be honest,
also what a strike from Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, it's a good finish. It's a really good finish.
Come on, to react to that quickly, to be aware of your surroundings like that, and then strike the ball as cleanly as he does.
It is a very good finish.
That's quality.
I think it's difficult to pin down who is to blame for yesterday, because the issue isn't just yesterday. Again, this has been something that, unfortunately for Liverpool this season, has brewed game after game after game, particularly the last couple of months. And to be honest, it's going to be really fucking tight now.
I kind of have to disagree.
I mean, look,
it's a real race, but I think
not so fun for you two.
I kind of have to disagree with Joel though. I feel like someone in that team needs to take accountability, and it has to be. It has to be Gerald Konsa.
They're a good enough team for anybody to step up, but that happened still early enough. What was it, 50 minutes when we conceded the equaliser?
I totally agree.
And then the game flipped on its head for 10 minutes as well. Like,
but it's because of that. It's like, you know what it is? Gerald Konsa, he's young, don't get me wrong, but he's played enough football in his life, in his career, to kind of manage a pass like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Look,
it's a howler. I'm not saying it isn't a howler.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but like someone in that team has to take accountability.
He will sit and blame himself for that moment, and he'll have lots of people around him. I imagine Virgil van Dijk being like, "Look, it happens. Move on. It doesn't matter now." That one chance, if you compare that mistake to the 7-8 chances of the strikers,
100%.
That's the equivalent, right?
Yeah.
Nunes at the back post for that Diaz one decides to try and square the ball back. I can only assume
so much of the passing yesterday was just a yard behind where it needed to be. The thing is, I think you're absolutely right. If we don't win the league from here, it will not be because Jarell Konsa fucked up at the back. It will be because across 38 games, we've had 40 chances that have gone begging and opportunities to kill the game off where we've ended up walking away with a point instead of 3 points. It's not Jarell Konsa's fault. That isn't.
I tweeted an image which we can put in.
Oh, God. Do we have to?
Joel will put it in
Look
post.
at the state of it.
Where it basically shows Liverpool have absolutely peppered Man United. And lots of people on Twitter were sort of saying, you haven't been paying attention to the script if you don't think Manchester United aren't going to score with their first shot of the game. And they did. And lo and behold, it was from the fucking centre circle.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it makes it's so bad to look at because, again, that goal was 50 minutes in and you look at how dominant we were in the first half. And we felt very comfortable. I actually wasn't majorly annoyed at only being 1-0 up at half-time at that moment because I thought, well, we carry on like this, we're not letting them back into the game. But then I remembered that I've watched Liverpool a lot this season, and that's exactly what we've been fucking doing.
So look, the second goal then, after the mistake, the game sort of flips on its head. Manchester United feel slightly emboldened. They've become more confident, which is very strange considering they haven't been able to get a touch of the ball. And it's amazing how football games can just flip like that. As you know, momentum is crazy. But the second goal is quality.
It's a great finish.
Really, like, not that the first goal is very quality as well, but the second goal is a piece of like individual brilliance where Mainu, who, you know, it's not what he's known for traditionally, albeit he's very young. Lovely turn, swivel, and then bends it on the outside of the post straight into the corner. How do you guys feel at that moment?
This is my biggest frustration with our backline, and I think it stems from Virgil's like composure. Is we're not aggressive. We don't get out to the players, and because like it's evident to see that Van Dijk leads that backline,
big time.
And he kind of his essence kind of rubs off on everyone else. It happened last week, Danny Welbeck, or 2 weeks ago, whatever. Literally, he's sitting there at the edge of the box, has so much time to take a touch and shoot.
Yeah, this is my centre back pairing. You have to have a cat and a dog.
Yeah,
and the pairing is a cat reads the game really well, doesn't want to go too close to the ball, but will also drop into space, win the ball before there's even danger. And Van Dijk probably one of the best in the world at it. And you want a dog, you want someone who goes out and just woofs at the ball.
And Konate's really good at that.
Eats the ball.
And
that's Konate. Yeah,
Konate is
as
super
a pairing,
good at that.
that's probably the best centre back pairing in the league. Like,
Arsenal fans are going to kill you.
Yeah,
no, to be fair, it's between Saliba, Gabriel, Diaz, Stones, and
I was more annoyed with the second goal than I was with Jarell Konsa's mistake. Kwanzaa's mistake is exactly that. As a kid, it's a blip. He's been brilliant up until now. The lack of pressure that Kobe Manu was put under is criminal, particularly when you know they've just equalised. The game has swung in their favour. We saw it in the FA Cup happen 3 times, just
like
literally 2 weeks before. It really did. Yeah. You cannot, when you know that you've given this team fuck all in the first half, you've been all over them. You've let them back in, and you know for a fact that they're going in their heads, well, actually, we were shit that first half. We have nothing about us. We have to grab this opportunity because we're now still in the game.
Still in it.
The fact that he was, it is a brilliant finish. It's really good.
I mean,
it's fantastic.
He wasn't having a great game either. Like,
no, he wasn't.
He was getting bypassed because of the way that Liverpool play. Yeah. That the Manchester United midfield is so not set up to deal with what Liverpool have going forward. Szoboszlai and McAllister in particular were just running rings around Casemiro. And like Fernandes wants to run everywhere, and that drags where Mainu has to be out, and then Casemiro doesn't want to run at all. So it just kind of sits as this anchor in midfield, which means the ball gets popped around him really quickly. He sometimes manages to put a tackle in, but only if it's within his like. He's almost like a Sabutio.
Yeah,
like the ball needs to be within like a 5 foot radius for him to now get involved.
It's a great goal, but we have done ourselves absolutely no favors with the defending around it.
It is okay. I hear what you're saying. And you know, and then the game swings violently back the other way, and Liverpool. Yep. I mean, look, I think most Man United fans will agree with me that I thought Ten Hag got his substitutions massively wrong. He invited loads of pressure. He lost all the pace on the counter-attack by taking off Garnacho and bringing on Amrabat.
He done it against Chelsea as well.
And he didn't learn.
No.
He didn't learn because what he should have done was kept pace at the top of the pitch, keep stretching that Liverpool line. They lost that completely. It meant that when the ball went long, there was no one there for it. It felt so inevitable. Not that I wanted Man United to win, but I was like, can they hold on to a one-goal lead? No, of course they can't.
I don't think you're ever going to feel confident playing a team like Liverpool and bringing on Sofian Amrabat. I just don't think he's the kind of player.
I didn't notice he was on the pitch, to be honest.
Yeah, same. I'm not going to lie to you.
And then look, so then we get to the moment. Harvey Elliott, who I thought was very good when he came on.
The move is brilliant.
It's really clever, and really I think it's either Joe. I think it's Joe Gomez who keeps the ball alive down on the wing as well. And that bit of play was incredibly neat and quite rare for Wan-Bissaka to go to ground and not win the ball. But did he touch the man? Was it a penalty? You are two Liverpool fans. I want to hear now. Was it a penalty?
I think that is a blatant penalty.
I think it is as well.
He's saying yes.
There's very obviously contact. I mean, lots of penalty discourse this weekend, and I know that
there was some awful stuff.
Listen, in the Arsenal-Brighton game, it's irrelevant because they go on to win the game 3-0. They're absolutely dominating, but there is a lot of talk around these penalties that are being given, particularly in the Arsenal game, when a player clearly wins the ball. He beats the man to the ball.
Sure.
I understand that like the justification for it in that game is, well, there's not enough clear and obvious evidence that actually the refs made an error and therefore it's not getting overturned. And they've tried to be consistent with that this season, and that's fine. The issue is, you go back to the City-Liverpool game a few weeks ago, Jeremy Doku studs in the chest of McAllister last minute. It's violent conduct, let alone a foul. But the reason it wasn't given was because they said, well, he's touched the ball first. And therefore, again, it wouldn't be overturned. Howard Webb came out and said if the ref had given that penalty, it also wouldn't have been overturned for the same reason. The issue is, they've applied the correct, consistent protocol for both of them, and have come out with two different decisions.
Yeah, okay. So look, as a neutral in the situation, in the moment, I was like, clear penalty.
It looks clumsy,
dived
didn't it?
in, he's not got the ball. In the replays afterwards, and this is what VAR has, I was like, Harvey Elliott has dragged his leg, he's looked for contact, there isn't the initial contact that it looks like there is. I was a little bit like, I would feel hard done by if I was a Man United fan. I can see why it was given.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was almost in two stages.
Yeah.
Where you anticipate the contact that the penalty has been given for, it's actually not there. It's half a second after when Harvey Elliott is changing direction. I think it is a penalty because he doesn't win the ball and he has dived in and it is clumsy. Yeah. Would I be thrilled if that had been given against me? Probably not. But I think it is a pen. I think with the pens that are being given in the game now and the protocol around it, it's a penalty.
Okay, so then look, game ends 2-2. Liverpool sort of push, don't get the winner. Klopp then comes out after the game and says, Arsenal are a good football team. If they, United, play like today, Arsenal will win the game. I'm 100% sure. I'm sorry to say that. He is basically saying Arsenal will kill that game off well before Man United get an opportunity to come back in. Do you guys agree with that?
100%. I agree with that, but I don't agree with Klopp saying that.
But what he's trying to say is like, be better, right? Like someone has to set the standards, right?
But not out to the public.
You're not saying not to the press.
Yeah, not to the press.
But he wants to appease Liverpool fans who are going to be fuming that the team hasn't managed to kill that game.
Klopp knows. Again, Klopp has sat there and watched this happen week after week.
Well, yeah, exactly. And he was fuming.
Yeah,
he was.
He was seething.
Like, normally I praise Klopp for taking attention away from the team and kind of bringing the attention on himself. But that comment puts a lot more pressure onto the team. Because let's be honest, the team already know that they fucked up, that they need to be better. To now tell fans to kind of like, that our rivals, our league rivals, would have killed that game off.
But does that not put pressure in a way? Does it not put pressure on Arsenal?
I think you're absolutely right.
I haven't thought about it that way actually.
Yeah.
It does put pressure on the Liverpool players, but it's a rallying cry. That's the point.
Yeah.
We are in a title race with Arsenal.
Yeah, come on.
He knows full well that everyone is saying whoever drops points doesn't win the league. That is a rallying cry. He has watched for the last 2 months Liverpool fail to see out games when they've been dominant.
Yeah.
That is his fucking challenge to his players to say, hello, there is a league title to be won here. And I would quite like to win it because it's my last season. There is a league title to be won. I understand what you're saying, that they know they fucked up, so maybe it's not the most obviously helpful thing. But I think that's Klopp's way of saying, if this happens again, Arsenal will win the Premier League. They will see these games out because they. And
all Manchester City.
All Manchester City.
It's weird how all things about Man City.
But I do think he's right. Arsenal do see those games out, and they have been so comfortable just generally over the last few weeks.
They're hitting form at the right time as well.
100%.
Like whereas Arsenal traditionally start to dip around this period, or at least last year they dipped around this period. They look the way they control games at the moment is pretty impressive.
I think Klopp is right to put that challenge to the players.
Okay, interesting. Right then, staying with Arsenal, they've got a huge game tomorrow in the Champions League against Bayern at home at the Emirates. Bayern this weekend went 2-0 up against Heidenheim, and then they conceded 3 goals back-to-back and lost the game, which now leaves them 16 points behind Leverkusen. 6 games left to play. Xabi Alonso's side can win their first ever Bundesliga title with a win at home against Werder Bremen next weekend.
Overrated manager, by the way. Never wanted him. Firmly on the Ruben Amorim train. Now.
So look, with that in mind, we went out to speak to, and with Kane going back to the Emirates, we went back to speak to Arsenal fans about how they feel about the man coming back to North London.
He's gone to Bayern, he's expected to win trophies, and he just hasn't delivered.
It's the history of the Tottenham. It was written in the stars. Xhaka goes to Leverkusen, stops Kane winning the league. The easiest opportunity Kane will have at a trophy. Xhaka goes to Leverkusen, goes to season unbeaten. Arsenal got him in the Champions League, written in the stars. Up the Arsenal.
How does it feel watching Kane go to a sure win and he's lost the league?
Well, it's obviously for us as well. I mean, look, I wasn't Xhaka's biggest fan in his early years, but now obviously, you know, he had a nice sort of redemption arc, and he's now gone there, and he's about to win a league with Leverkusen and also cost Kane a title. So now he's gone down as a legend in my books. But yeah, no, glad to see he's gone out there and still can't win an easy trophy in an easy league. So.
It's the history of the Tottenham.
Bottled it again.
And he's brought it exactly with him straight to Germany, and they ain't doing anything to change that. Honestly, Eric Dyer as well coming in as well. They've ruined their club, and so yeah, Harry Kane, unfortunately, he's cursed.
Listen, he was at Tottenham. What does he expect? You know what I mean? It's Tottenham. I mean, to be honest, they're just shit. Like, they've never won anything for about 10 years. You know, I'll be honest with you. Like, he's gone to Bayern, and you know, Leverkusen have wiped the floor with him, and it's just like, what does he expect? He's gone to Bayern. He's expected to win trophies, and he just hasn't delivered. I mean, he scored quite a few goals, but Leverkusen have dealt with him. So,
well, as an Englishman, obviously, I don't mind him, but it is quite funny. I was gone abroad to win a league, and then we might end up winning it ourselves before him. So, yeah, I'm loving every second of it, to be honest.
Spurs fans, I think we're going to claim that one as their own as well. So is that nice as well?
Yeah. Fuck Tottenham.
Hilarious Comedy Central stuff. I think it's got to be. It has to be.
And I saw obviously the stat. I mean, I'm sure we all know it, but the Kingsley Coman stat. What is it? 11 titles in a row. Kane joins and he doesn't win one. So it says it all, doesn't it?
I think he's just cursed, mate. He's one of the best footballers out of our generation. There isn't an England fan on the planet that won't say that. Harry Kane is absolutely unbelievable, but he's fucking cursed.
Harry Kane is cursed, apparently.
I do feel a bit sorry for him, though.
Of course, like honestly, on a human level, he worked really, really, really hard to leave Tottenham, and he deserved his move. As a Tottenham fan, I can sit here and say the man deserved his move. I was happy for him to go and pick up, as the Arsenal fans have said, there some easy trophies in the Bundesliga. You know, Bayern just tend to walk, even though last year they got incredibly lucky with the league title, Dortmund bottling it on the last day of the season. It felt like, okay, Harry Kane's joined. It's very, it's a very good team. Tuchel's a good manager. But this season's just been horrible for them. Really, really, like one massive headache to the next. Players unhappy. Kane has scored 32. He scored his 32nd, 32 goals. And that's just not going to be anywhere near enough for them. But they're just not playing well.
Yeah.
They're just not playing well.
To be 16 points adrift of the league, it is crazy.
That's it. It's criminal. It's
and
absolutely
Leverkusen to win their first ever league title the season he joined, there is some evil forces at work here. It's an evil world we live in.
Like Harry Kane must be so like, what must be going through his head? Because he leaves Spurs. Spurs do comfortably better. Like they do a lot better than they did.
Yeah.
Then he comes to the team, doesn't do great. He's like, he must think like, is he the issue? There must be like some.
Do you know what? Honestly, if I'm Harry Kane, I'm probably feeling let down. He
100%.
He never let on because he is a professional. He's very good, like public facing. He's very good with the press. If you are 16 points adrift, but you have scored 32 goals in a season, that should be good enough form to be in a title race.
Yeah.
You have to look at everyone else. It's not as though...
Mate, that's like what happened at Tottenham. It's basically what happened at Tottenham where he'd score 30 goals and we'd be 7th.
Listen, Leverkusen have been absolutely brilliant. They will win the league at a canter. They may well go on and win the Europa League as well.
Sure say that.
Mate, they might go on undefeated this season. They're still undefeated. We're in April. That's just insane.
They're 16 points clear. They have had a very good season. However, Bayern could have also had a good season. Harry Kane could have scored 30 plus goals and it could be really tight at the top. Yeah. Harry Kane has done his job.
Yeah.
He's done exactly what they signed him to do. I'd fucking love to get him in a room with no mics on and just talk to him about it.
It's funny because, look, when he joined Bayern Munich, he made a point of saying that you'd lose a couple of games at Tottenham and it wouldn't feel like a big deal.
Yeah.
And now you lose a couple of games at Bayern Munich and it does feel like a really big deal.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder how that shift, because it feels like when Spurs lose a game now, it feels like a big deal.
Big deal.
Ange makes a big deal out of it. It's really, I mean, it's under the microscope. And Bayern Munich have lost, I think, for the first time ever. They're like, it might be the most games ever. I probably got that wrong, but they've lost an incredibly large amount of games for Bayern Munich. I wonder how that's affecting the mentality of that group because they don't lose. They don't lose games.
Yeah.
That's like,
this is a fantastic squad as well. Then it's not like it's Harry Kane and 10 really average players. There are big names in that team that are consistently not performing.
Like huge names. Like a lot of that team will go play for Germany in the Euros.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also just like generally, not a settled team.
No.
Yeah.
Like there's been Kimmich and Tuchel have had multiple sort of comings together. There's clearly Tuchel leaving at the end of the season. Everyone knowing that very look, Klopp will probably leave and it will all feel pretty positive. But that's a very different scenario to Tuchel leaving after almost getting fired.
Yeah.
After coming in, he hasn't had very long at the club. It's clearly not working. Bayern Munich are becoming this team that gets rid of managers quickly, which they, But tomorrow night, they've got nothing to play for now, Bayern. They're out the cups. The league's gone. They will have to throw everything at this Arsenal game, and we'll just sort of spin off some results.
Oh, please.
For you. In the 2004-2005, it was 3-1 Bayern and 1-0 Arsenal. Finn, who's an Arsenal fan off here. In 2012, it was Bayern went through on away goals, 3-1 in the home fixture for Arsenal, and then 2-0 win in the away fixture, but Bayern Arsenal. In 2013-14, God, you played each other a lot, didn't you? Bayern won 2-0 at the Emirates, and then drew 1-1 at home and went through. 2015-16, Bayern Munich 5, Arsenal 1.
I remember this one.
In 2016-17, Bayern Munich 5, Arsenal 1 in the home
Finn,
leg.
Are you sweating?
In the home leg, and then in the away leg, Bayern Munich 5, Arsenal 1, which was the 10. That was the 10-2, and that was kind of that was the last time that they played each other in anything meaningful. Arsenal have a chance to
really do it.
Like, this is a huge opportunity. Beyond the fact that it's, you know, a quarterfinal of the Champions League, this is a huge opportunity to really get your own back.
I think they do it as well.
Yeah.
I personally think they go on and not Bayern out. And I think they do it in style and they do it comfortably.
Because I don't know if Bayern can just, you know, when a team's having a bad season, but out of nowhere they pull out a result. Yeah. I don't think Bayern can do that, because in the game against Leverkusen recently, where you're like, look, this is it. Money on the table. Like, you need to win this game. They got battered. They got pumped. And it wasn't even like a particularly tight game. Leverkusen were comfortable, could have scored more goals. I think that tomorrow night you might see Arsenal. Yeah. If you're an Arsenal player, I mean, Arteta would have been around the club at that point, right? If you're an Arsenal player and Arteta's telling you, like, this lot embarrassed this club, and I want you to go out and do the same now. Like, there's not more fuel than what's happened in this fixture in the past. I expect Arsenal to go at them.
You see it on, like, the Arsenal documentaries, the way, like, Arteta, like, sets up his team, and he makes it, like, really, like, emotion-led, club-led, like the Ivan Toney tweet, he shows old games, and I could just imagine him getting, like, the club photographer in the change room tomorrow to just give that, 100%. To just, like, tell him how he felt when they got pumped 10-2,
explaining,
and just like, this is the time we change the narrative for all the fans 100%. And everyone, and I honestly do think that.
And look at the difference in mindsets. You just said, Hunter, like, not sure you could imagine Bayern pulling something out of a hat and turning it around. The rot for them has been all season. It's been so public. It's been so devastating. It's been embarrassing for them, really. Arsenal, however, again, for the second season in a row, have got to this point in the season looking really strong, looking far better than they did last season, to be fair. Genuine opportunity to go on and win the Premier League. The difference in mindset there. And the Champions League. I think they have a really good chance, but I cannot. I mean, as you said, Arteta setting them up. The mood in that Arsenal change room is going to be one thing. What is the mood in the Bayern changing room?
Yeah, it's going to be desperate, isn't it?
It's going to be desperate. I can't really imagine that they will have enough about them to say, well, let's at least get the result here. Because again, Harry Kane could have the game of his life, score 3 goals, and Bayern would find a way to fucking lose.
I want that so much. I just can't see it happening. I want it so. I want Harry Kane to go and do something incredible, but I have to say, he always scored against Arsenal, but it was usually a penalty. He scored a lot of good goals against Arsenal. He scored so many good goals against Arsenal. But I just can't see it happening.
I think Arsenal win comfortably over the 2 legs, and I think they batter them tomorrow.
Well, you could see how much Harry Kane had hurt those Arsenal fans, right? That's years of goals, years of big goals against Arsenal.
It's going to be, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be a mad game. It's actually
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking for. I hope Bayern turn up. I hope that it's not just like a very routine, because look, Bayern still have a lot of incredible players who can cause you trouble, but you know the way Arsenal control games, it's whether they'll even get a sniff.
Which game will you lot be watching? Real Madrid, Man City, or
it's a double screener night, isn't it?
Yeah.
Big time.
Got to get the laptop.
It's one on the TV and one on the lappy. Look, you can't miss.
I don't have the facilities for that, but
those are big games.
I mean, I just hope, I hope Real Madrid, Man City is more competitive than it was last year.
We'll see, won't we? We'll see, because Man City are doing their thing again, where they've started just winning, like at a canter. Grealish was good again at the weekend. Let's see, because it's funny. There's a lot of talk around Liverpool and Arsenal. Rightly, they're top of the league, but Man City are right there, and that's the team that has done it. And
yet, weirdly, I don't know if you feel the same. I am more concerned about Arsenal than Man City.
I think that's the way that Man City will want it.
City was so good last year, and they're so good in the Champions League as well. Obviously, this season, I think they have been far more susceptible to making mistakes and dropping points, and that's why they're only third now. And then they haven't run away with it.
I agree.
But I am more concerned, but also I'm concerned because no one cares if City win anything anymore.
It's so true.
It's them winning the league still feels the same.
I went to Lou after the game yesterday, and there was an Arsenal fan in there, and he was like, "Well, if it's not you, who do you want to win the league?" I was like, "Oh, Manchester City," because
no one cares.
No one cares.
You don't know any Man City fans.
Who gives a shit? Why? Yeah. Why? Like, why would I want Arsenal to win it when it matters and they've been brilliant and this, that, and the other? No.
And they have the
City.
shittest fan base as well. By
If
the
it
way.
ain't going to
The
be
most
us,
annoying
City.
fan base, Arsenal. So yeah, get Arsenal. Arsenal can't win that.
Having
But-
said that, Liverpool, please. Win the
Yeah.
league. Anyway.
When was the last time Man City lost a game? I think it might have been Villa.
Yes, it was Villa.
Villa in December. But I mean,
But we all said, didn't we? As soon as De Bruyne came back in as well, it was right. This is the next 15
here we
games
go.
in a row.
Yeah, Rodri back as well. That would, I mean, look huge. Anyway, so look, lots of good football in the next couple of days coming up in the Champions League.
Oh yes.
And to sort of kick off our coverage, we wanted to do a combined 11 of all the teams left in. So we're going to do a starting 11 using players from Arsenal, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Paris Saint-Germain, and Barcelona. So if we start, we'll put a player in each for each position, and then we'll build the 11 out that way. We'll just play a 4-3-3. That's not overcomplicated. And then we'll start with the goalkeeper then. So Joel, Ibby, who are you picking as a goalkeeper?
I personally am probably going Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah, I would. For me, I had Edison. I think Donnarumma's on fraud watch.
You had Edison. I'm surprised you haven't picked your boy.
Courtois.
No, Ter Stegen. You love Ter Stegen.
Yeah, but with his hands, fraud watch as well. with
watch is
I'm not gonna lie, these European keepers are all on fraud watch right now. I would say Courtois if he wasn't injured. That's my only thing.
Okay.
I've kind of gone for a team that I know will play. Courtois would be the obvious standout.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm going with Edison.
Edison. I still like Jan Oblak a lot.
Yeah, I like him as well.
I'm going to say Edison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so right back then.
Who you going with, Joe?
It's close, isn't it?
It's so close.
It's really difficult. I will probably go for Kyle Walker.
I'm going Kyle Walker.
I'm actually going Hakimi.
You're going Hakimi.
Yeah, just because
I know this is one-off, but I went to the Newcastle PSG game and I watched Hakimi get run by Anthony Gordon. I was like, no, I'm not having that then. I'm not having that anymore. Okay, Kyle Walker in at right back.
Man City, shock.
Okay. Look, they're the Champions League winners, current treble winners. You can't look. Okay, so we're looking at two centre backs now. A lot of good choices here.
I'll actually go with Saliba.
Yep, Saliba's one.
And Rudiger.
That is probably my two
Saliba,
as well.
Rudiger. I'm very happy to stick to that.
Oh, we made light work.
Light
work of that.
Honestly, I don't think there's any centre backs that.
There will be lots.
Honestly,
there'll be lots of Arsenal fans that watch this and say that it's unlucky that we're not putting Gabriel.
And Diaz and Stones and any.
But Rudiger's just been so good.
I love Rudiger as well. I love the way that he plays. When we're talking about those dogs that go after like those cats that sit back and those dogs that sort of go and aggressively win the ball.
And
he's so good at it. So good.
And he fucking loves the game.
Yeah,
he
loves defending.
He loves getting
in
people's heads as well.
I'm a big fan of him generally. I have to say. Okay, so those are our two centre backs. Left back. It's an interesting one. I think it's probably one of the weakest. One of the probably positions where there's
not as many,
not a ton of big options.
I would go for Alphonso Davies. Not been amazing.
Not been his best season.
Individual as a left back, I think he's top. I think he's one of the most unique left backs in the game. Like, he's quick, he's strong, he gets up and down. Like, if you play him as a wing back, he's basically the right back version of Jeremy Doku. That energy, that pace, getting in there. I think he's so good. Shit Bayern Munich team, but individually, I think he's Alphonso Davies.
I have a bit of a soft spot generally for Alaba.
Okay,
for me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not played there loads this year.
He hasn't.
He's moved into centre back a lot more.
If you've got Rudiger and Saliba taking up the centre back spots, it would probably be either Alaba or Alphonso Davies. I think I'm going to go for Alaba.
My pick has been injured for most of the year, so it can't be my pick. My pick would the PSG left back Nuno Mendes. I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah.
Really, really, really good player, but he's been injured so much. So I'm going to say Alphonso Davies.
Three midfielders actually are just the easiest: Bellingham, Rodri, and De Bruyne.
If you were to ask most people what their best midfield in the world would be, it would be that.
And I think that balance in that midfield is actually... I'm more for Jude Bellingham in an 8 than a 10. I think Jude Bellingham is piss poor in a 10. I just don't think he gets, like, you're not utilising his strengths, which is box to box. So I don't know why England will play him in the 10. So I think as an 8, he works so well in that like in that of De Bruyne in the 10, and then Rodri like the 4/6.
Yeah, Rodri is the best holding midfielder on the planet.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've said this a few times. Like Rice and Rodri. Rice is unlucky that Rodri exists because Rice has been so good in this Arsenal team. He's been revolutionary. He's allowed them to play with such intensity in that midfield that
If we were to have this conversation a year from now, I wouldn't be surprised if Rice ends up.
Yeah,
Rice
potentially.
Particularly if Arsenal go on and win the league and/or the Champions League.
It's a shame because like Tchouaméni, Camavinga, like we're talking about two unbelievably talented players as well.
They're gonna go head to head on Wednesday, so we'll actually see how that
goes.
goes.
We'll see, won't we?
Yeah,
We'll see. I mean, that's going to be.
And to be fair, the nature of this Real Madrid side that has now been built, it has been built to dominate European football.
Yeah, it's mad
for the next 5-10
like,
years. So
if they get Mbappe,
add in Kylian,
and even Trent, maybe
less of that.
We'll see.
Well, you never know.
We'll see, won't we? We'll see.
So we've gone for Bellingham, Rodri, De Bruyne.
Bellingham, Rodri, De Bruyne. Yeah, that's the three. Okay, and forwards then. Left wing. Yeah, it's a lot. Now there are a lot of
options there.
It depends if you want to force people into positions that they don't.
Yeah.
Like,
because it's far easier to just pick 3 forwards. And be like, maybe we move one of them.
Kylian Mbappe, of course, enjoys playing more on the left. Vinicius Junior on the left.
Tough.
I would actually go for Vinny. I think he's unbelievable. I think the way he'll carry teams, like the way he carries Madrid out of like when they're down bad, and he'll just make a moment, score, and then Madrid. And I think every team needs that, and I think that's why Vinny is top.
I would have probably Vinny on the left.
Okay.
I think I would maybe play around with having Mbappe and playing him maybe more central.
That means Kane doesn't get in your team.
Yeah.
Well, what's he done? Scored 30 goals a season. Lost the
What's
league,
he done?
lost the league title.
Goals?
Yeah, but it's difficult. Yeah, because Kane, obviously on merit, Kane should be in there, shouldn't he?
Well, yeah, look, that's a conversation that we can have. Okay, so if we're saying, you guys are saying Vinicius Junior out left, I'm saying Mbappe out left, but you know, you two.
It's a numbers game, mate.
So Vinicius Junior.
It's a democracy.
Wins the left wing position. Right wing then.
I was actually going to potentially say Saka.
You're going to say Saka over Rodrigo?
I was torn.
I would also say Antoine Griezmann.
Yeah.
I mean, I know not traditionally his position, but I would love to try and get him in the team. Like, I just think he is.
Yeah.
Despite being globally known and sort of respected, I still think he's massively underrated. Like what he brings to the team. I think
he's always been, yeah.
Like he's kind of in the similar higher up as like a Kai Havertz or like a Dele Alli, I don't know, like, you know, those players who are underappreciated for what they bring, but probably again like your favorite player's favorite player is someone like Antoine Griezmann.
Yeah.
Because of the work that he does around the ball. He's such an intelligent footballer, like a smooth operator. But I feel like I'm not going to convince you. But at right wing then.
Are you going for Saka?
No, because I've slated him too many times. And I do actually think he's very predictable. I think he's very good, but very predictable. And I think in Champions Leagues, that the players are so high level that they read him even more than they do in the Premier League. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually going to go for Rodrigo because I think I think Madrid.
He's been brilliant.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone always says on Twitter, he looks like a Bengali. Have you seen it? He looks like a proper South Asian. So he's basically part of my community.
Fucking hell.
So I'm claiming him. I'm claiming him. So he's going into my right wing team.
I'd say Rodrigo as well. He is just so good, and he has been so good. I think the Champions League point around Saka is a good one as well.
Yeah.
I think Saka is a very, very good player, but he's not quite at that level for me.
You think Rodrigo?
I think Rodrigo.
You think Rodrigo over Saka then?
Yeah,
I would say Rodrigo.
Okay, I'm happy with that. I was going to say Saka, but I think there's merit for both players, so I'm happy to go Rodrigo. And then up top, you boys are saying Kylian Mbappe, are you?
I'm actually saying Kane.
You saying Harry Kane?
Yeah, I'm saying Kane.
if we're trying to be purists and playing people where they should be playing, it is Harry Kane.
Like, let's be honest.
I'm a purist.
Mbappe got cooked against Mbappe got pocketed against Newcastle. Like, he got pocketed by Shaw and Dan fucking Burn.
To be fair, Newcastle stuck 11 men behind the ball.
Yeah,
there was literally no space in it. Kylian Mbappe is a generational talent, I think. I think Harry Kane is as well. Let me just say that. So it's between those two. So I'm happy to say Harry Kane to make sure he gets in the team. But are we really leaving out?
Well, this is what I mean. The
Mbappe?
comments. If we pick a team that doesn't have Kylian Mbappe in it, the comments are going to fucking.
If we're going true by position, and Kylian Mbappe's true position is a striker, and if you ask me to take Harry Kane or Mbappe, and I think if you actually ask people this on socials, if you say Harry Kane up front as a 9 or Mbappe, I think people say Harry Kane. I genuinely think people say Harry Kane.
Yeah, no, as a 9.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much. Honestly, I think he's spoken about that, enjoying coming in from the wing and playing with a target man that he can bounce the ball off and come in. That's why he likes playing with Olivier Giroud so much, right? He's the dream.
Does the dirty work.
So wait, you're saying?
I'm going to say Harry Kane.
Okay.
See, that's how you change someone's
Eat
mind.
it, Kylian.
You've been swindled.
What manager do you want managing that
That's
team?
a great question.
Let's go the whole way. Why not? Who's running
It's Pep Guardiola then, isn't it? Best manager in the world, treble winning manager.
I would actually give a huge shout out to Mikel Arteta.
So you giving it to Mikel Arteta?
I'm not saying anything.
Who are you giving it to then?
Question.
Who are you giving it to?
I'll give it to Mikel Arteta.
I would not give it to Mikel Arteta.
How can you give it to the guy who's won, like the guy who has just won the treble? Yeah. Sorry, lads. I know he's not added the best season ever, but they might win the FA Cup, they might win the Premier League, and they might win the Champions League again. Like, it's very on for them.
They'll bottle it.
Okay.
Fingers
Doesn't
crossed.
seem like something they do that often. Joel, who are you saying then?
It's
saying Diego Simeone.
Reluctantly, it is probably Pep Guardiola.
I like. There's a lot of very talented managers in this list.
The real managers are doing it in the Europa League, boys.
Real shit.
That's what it's
Actually,
about.
it's actually true. The two real managers are doing it.
Okay, cool. So that's the team. Joel will put a graphic here.
Sure. It's on screen now.
Yeah, it's on screen now. Okay, so look, to close out the show, I just want your predictions for the game. So, Ibby, Bayern versus Arsenal, or Arsenal versus Bayern, sorry.
Really tough one, but I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal.
Joel?
I probably also think 2-1. I could see Bayern scoring.
2-1,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say 4-1.
Ooh.
Wow.
I think Arsenal run through them. Real Madrid, Man City, Ibby.
3-2 Real Madrid.
3-2.
Yeah, I
That's
think
high scoring for.
I think Real Madrid will get in and get goals.
Joel?
I think they're going to draw.
Oh, yeah? What's the score going to be?
I think it's going to be 2-2. I reckon City will get a really good point. I think.
Not a point, because it's a knockout competition.
I'm speaking in cliches. I think City could go there and get a draw. I think 2-2.
I think City win that 2-0.
Comfortable.
Really?
Yeah. Atleti, Borussia Dortmund.
I think that's going to be a draw, and I think 2-2, and I think Sancho's going to get one.
2-2.
Yeah.
Joel?
I think Atleti probably win.
Bye.
I don't. Yes, all right. I don't think there's going to be a lot in it. I think maybe 1-0.
1-0. And I'm going to go 1 apiece. And then finally, Ibby, PSG versus Barcelona.
See, I think it could go either way, and whatever way it goes, one team's going to get pummeled. So I'm going 4-0 PSG.
4-0
Yeah,
PSG.
I genuinely think Barca could
We're
get...
going to have to come back to these next week.
Yeah,
aren't we?
100%. Though. I'm making a note. Don't worry.
I am going to say 2-1 to PSG.
2-1 PSG. And I'm going to say 2-2.
Ooh.
There you go. Good mix in there.
Right, okay, so look, we'll come back to these next week. We'll see who knows ball, and before the second legs, of course.
Yeah. Give us your predictions as well.
So yeah, make sure to leave your predictions in the comments. Thank you so much for joining the show, and we'll see you on the next one.